think the question is just sitting just sitting? Could there be a just sitting? Why might it be so difficult to conceive of or practice just sitting? We could also say just resting or just being. The ancient theory is that if you sit, that's a good start. The body can be stilled, it's a good starting point. First step. Body stillness, maybe emotional stillness. Physical stillness, emotional stillness, reaching into the body stillness. Then we have memory stillness, reaching into the emotional stillness, which is reaching into the body stillness, which in itself is reaching into the stillness of the earth. You have mental stillness reaching into the memory stillness reaching into the emotional stillness, reaching into the physical stillness, reaching into the earth. Kind of like a shish kebab, or straight down to the earth, through the head. So then it's more like earth, like mind. Mind like earth. Yeah. Stillness. And it's not a theory, although it sounds like one. It's a practice, breathing from the earth, feeling the presence of the earth. And that's a starting point. Collapsing your deck of cards into the sense of the ground of the earth. All the chakras is earth. Completely released into the earth. Okay. Surrendered, let's say. Dropped into the earth. And then the big deal is breathing. Put your mind on the breathing. The breathing has its mind on the body being still. And then we have the body being still mind. And we have the earth beneath it being stillness. Being stillness mind. And it's a starting point. It's a quiet point. It's a rest point. It's good practice.
If we're sitting and being still, what do we need rest from?
Your anxieties, your neuroses, your disturbances, your doubts, your confusion, your self-conflict, right? Your concerns, right? Your anxieties. The list goes on. Everything. To begin with, everything, right? That you're preoccupied with, relative to business, relative to the world, relative to surviving, all of these things. Okay? A huge pyramid, pile. Right? Preoccupation. Rest from the stress of trying to do anything. So when you go into sleep, what are you sleeping from? What are you going into deep sleep from? Why must you go into deep sleep? Escaping. What are you escaping from? Yourself. What else is there to escape from? Right. Neuroses. Self-created neuroses. Come in.
Well, how do things get done if one is not doing anything?
Precisely. Yeah, you can laugh, it's good. It's ridiculous. But it's true. See, in other words, your self-programming of habitual limitation and concern. Concern is limitation, limitation is concern. Obstructs what it is that needs to be done in the most effective manner that it could ever be done. That's with the cooperation of the inner reality. Some would call it the spirit, some would call it the subconsciousness, some would call it, more highfalutin words. We need to have a theoretical understanding of there being a neutral consciousness, not just a yes-no consciousness. There's an in-between consciousness. There's an in-between world. We have to get in resonance with that. We are the in-between world of neither this nor that. You need to hear about it to be able to exercise what it is or prove it to yourself as fact. We are the neutral world of the soul. And more capable as a result of it. Not less capable, as you might fear. Say. It's more capability, because there's less conflict. There's less, stress in the already existing neutral that creates this sense of stillness. That is the sense of stillness. That we're running away from all the time because we can't stand the power of the stillness. See, the freedom of the stillness, the purity of the stillness. It's uncomfortable. It's discomforting. And that's the truth of what we are. This profound stillness that we avoid because of our culturing, because of your thinking, because of your emotions, because of your desires, and all of your cultural sort of programming. So, your assumptions and presumptions are stacked up against this fact of true stillness, original stillness, being the mountain, not just looking at one, but having the sense of the mountain already. Being the elements, being nature, being the solar system already, being the cosmic arrangement already. Being the all at the same time. The heart is the universe is the heart. Paradox. How could the everything be the nothing? How is there nothing, everything? Not a riddle to be solved. It is a fact to be lived.
In sitting in true stillness, is karma either created or discharged?
What comes to your mind when you think of the stillness?
I think of maybe what we could call a karma-free zone.
If there could be such a thing, it's karma-free zone. It's like a universe-free universe. You're adding to the paradox here. Stillness is a figure of speech, as a concept. Earth is absolutely that. Yet it's moving through space at, however many thousands of miles per hour, per second, or whatever. At its orbital speed. Whatever it is. Doesn't matter to us. We're here and we're still. In the midst of all of this speed, right, cosmic speed and time and space energy, we're still here. That means we are that. For us to be still here, we are here still. And it's only possible because we are what it is and we're not other than what it is. Right? So the meditation gets deeper. So we are what it is. Stillness is a good concept. Because everything that is moving is still, but can you perceive it as such? Can you perceive the stillness of motion? The motion of stillness. Paradox.
Would you say that under, let's say, extreme conditions, the stillness becomes apparent in one's activities or motions? You know, let's say somebody lifting a car off of somebody effortlessly. Is that an example of operating from the stillness?
Could be. Who knows? You have to realize what the stillness is in your case. Not in theory particularly, but in terms of what you experience. When do you experience stillness? When you're in the bathroom, on the can, you have a moment of stillness. When you're in bed, when you're sitting on a rock at the side of the ocean, on a very warm, beautiful day, according to your perceptics. Are you still when you're looking into a clear, dark sky, and seeing zillions and zillions of little lights sort of twinkling at you? Is that your stillness? It's a paradox. It's all motion, and yet it's all still. So it is then becomes, where do you activate your acceptance of being stillness itself? Regardless of what you have to do, because then you're being done by the stillness. Can you tolerate being done by the stillness? Being stilled by the stillness? Because you are stillness, you are peace. Because your original nature is peace. And every night we go to sleep and the body seems to be at perfect rest, for moments, perfect rest, like a rock, gone. Gone to oblivion, yet still there. But there's no sign of the self, and the actions or activities or programs of the self. Everything's gone. So it appears. And there's the presence of silence, which is true nature. Quietness is not imaginary. It's for real. It's the real, in fact. Put some comment.
Are awareness and stillness one and the same?
Could be. Depends on what you mean by awareness and what you mean by stillness. Is there such a thing as stillness? Awareness? Of course. Awareness of stillness? Obviously. We are the awareness, and we are everything else. That is. The heart is the universe is a heart. It's a mantra. It's also a device for accessing a deeper state of understanding, and maybe what was called earlier the neutral, the middle ground, the middle way. The clearness of it. Connecting the left and the right, the higher and the lower, all duality into like a dot. It doesn't show up. The dot of here, being, now. Meditation, starting point. Relaxing everything into that, collapsing everything into, let's say, the cessation of everything and anything. just this, just this, just this breathing, just this.